Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And for those of you that don't know who we are, Ron and I are the co-founders of the Bridge Project and the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior. And out of our experience of poverty, incarceration, entitlement mentality, Lamesville, right? And a lot of other of stuff.
A lot of other labels.
Right, we were able to create a powerful curriculum that not only helps empower people to go from next level thinking, but really how to empower others how to go to next level thinking.
Right.
And
so the principles that we learned in our journey from being in prison, from being on welfare, and how to actually overcome those things are the principles that we encapsulated in all of our TYRO suite, and also things that we share with you here on TYRO TV. Our passion is to see you, Dad, rise up, take your rightful place as father in your children's lives, and lead them into paths of honor, integrity, righteousness, so that they can become healthy and whole and confident and achieve their dreams too.
You know, a lot of the things that we're talking about, they might sound kind of cheesy to some of you, right?
Right.
But these are key principles in order to be successful, in order to create a legacy, Dad, that you've been dreaming about. Because one of the things that I know a man does while he's in prison is dream. And your imagination is going crazy. You're pumped up with imaginations. What if I can be this type of man? What if people will honor me? What if I can be respected? What if I can contribute to not only my family, but to the society around me?
But then the battle is, but what if I can't? What if I can't get there from where I am today? Because you might not see a very clear path in front of you. I'm like, okay, here's where I am. And I've got my children coming behind me. And I know where I want to be, but I don't know how to get there. And because all the odds are stacked against me. And you know what the truth is? The
odds are against you.
That's right.
Ours are against you, man. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Today's episode is powerful. I guarantee you will be moved to get up off your seat and go get something done. So don't walk away. Don't turn off the set. Stay tuned, because we're going to talk about odds are against you. And you fill in the blank. Make it. What else?
Yeah. Connect with your kids, get a job, get out,
odds
become
are against
healthy.
you.
Right. The odds are against you. But you know what? From where you're sitting and where we're sitting, we can tell you how to overcome those odds. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Cathy Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about odds are against you.
They are so against you.
And you got to really come to terms with that, guys. Come on, dads, listen to me. Odds are against you from making it. Odds are against you from becoming successful. Odds are against you from getting a job. Odds are against you from having a successful marriage.
Let me even take it the next step. Odds are against your children for being successful. Odds are against your kids from being successful at school, getting good grades. Odds are against your kids from going to college. Odds are against your kids to actually develop healthy relationships, to get good jobs. The odds are against you and your family.
You know, I think this is as truth as one person can get, right? We're telling you the truth. The truth is odds are against you. But what does that mean when we talk about that?
I want to say this to you. So what? The odds were against us too. I have constantly run into people that say to me, oh, well, you must have people high up. You must have come from money. You know somebody somewhere. No. Like, we met people along our journey that imparted principles into us, that helped us to learn what we needed to do to overcome the next level. And then we met more people that helped us. But there was not anybody that says, okay, well, let me help you I'm in this high position. So what? You work hard. We worked hard. If we can do it, you can do it.
So odds are against you that you're going to be successful when you leave the penitentiary. Odds are against you that your family is going to be successful while you're there.
Right.
Right? But that's not the end of the story. That's what's powerful.
And that's not an excuse to quit.
And that's it. What does it mean? What is that? The odds are against you. Well, here's the thing about it is, you've heard the saying that you've been your worst enemy, right? Who's your worst enemy? Self, right? Mm-hmm. But you also could be the flip side of that coin, your best friend. When you think about the odds are against you, you have to own your part of what got you to the place that you're at today, right now. Odds are against you because you chose a different path that you thought was going to lead you into something you really desired or something that you wanted, but it wound you up in the penitentiary. It winds you up where your family's in poverty. It winds you up where your children are labeled and marked, right? But odds are stacked against you that you're going to recover from that. But that's not true, right? That's not the end of the story.
Right. Just because the odds are against you doesn't mean you don't have a chance and an opportunity. The odds are against you, which means simply that statistically speaking, things aren't going to go well for you for the rest of your life. That's statistically. So if we say, okay, 2/3 of people, and this statistic I'm just using as an example, 2/3 of people getting out of prison will never achieve financial independence. 1/3 of them will. Why can't you be in that 1/3? And then why can't you expand and move and change that? And instead of actually becoming a statistic, decide that you are going to be a statistic breaker, which is what we decided. Literally, we said those words like, you know what? Any research out there is not going to define us. Nobody else is going to put their story, their expectations on us, and those expectations of being mediocrity. We get to define our own story. So when we say the odds are stacked against you, they are. The odds are against you. But that does not mean that you do not have the opportunity to overcome every odd and become successful as a father, as a husband, as a community member, and as an employee.
So you know what Kathy's talking about is beating the odds.
Right.
Right. You're going to beat the odds. And you've already done it, but you haven't even been conscious of it, Dad. Look where you're at right now. You beat the odds, right? Your family.
You're alive to tell about it.
You're alive to tell about it. You beat the odds. You went from a place of death and destruction that you created. Come on, Dad, right? Doesn't matter if you're innocent or guilty. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what got you to in a place where you couldn't be taken at your word. So that type of death and destruction that you were causing because you was the poison, and now you're in an environment, guess what? You beat the odds because you're still alive, right? You beat the odds. And not only that, your family's coming to visit you. You beat the odds. Or you got a great job in there. Now you got some state pay coming to you. Maybe you're out of debt even in there. You beat the odds. You're able to hustle while you're in there. You beat the odds.
And if you're still feeling like you're saying, okay, sure, like you're saying all of that, but the truth is that maybe my family's not coming to visit me. You know what? I don't have a state pay. I don't have a job where I can stay out of debt in here. I'm struggling with that. So that means that you are looking at this mountain of odds against you and you are accepting that as your fate, which means that you are deciding that you are going to want to be a victim of your circumstance for the rest of your life. I don't have any sympathy for you because you're deciding to do that. You can also equally make a decision to say, this, I will overcome this. I will not let this overcome me.
So in other words, I'm going to do the time ain't going to do me.
That's right.
You're going to beat the odds. Right? Because one of your jobs in there, Dad, is to grow and to become better and to surround yourself with men who are exceeding in this thing called doing time. They're growing. They're elevating one another. They're motivating one another. They're inspiring one another to be greater than they were when they first got in there. Right. That's the group you should be trying to surround yourself with. Become an odd breaker. When you break these odds, man, people will gravitate to you and they will ask you, how did you do it? How did you beat the odds?
So when you're looking in front of you and you see all of these challenges, that's the odds against you. If you're requesting to do things, you know what? I just need to get in that class. And they keep saying, no, sorry, the wait list is too long. The wait list is too long. That's an odd against you. If you're trying to figure out, okay, I'm trying to get my judicial release and everybody's telling me there's no way, the judge already said no, that's an odd against you. That doesn't mean that you have to quit and give up. And so we're going to be talking about why it's so important to, first of all, recognize that the odds are against you, and second of all, to beat those odds. And then we're going to be telling you how you actually do it. And how do we know how to do it? Because we've done it.
And we still do it. To this day, we still beat the
That's
odds.
right.
Every day that you wake up, gentlemen, listen to me, dads. If you wake up and you put your feet on the floor, you beat the odds.
That's
Come
right.
on, you beat the odds. But that's not the end of the story. When you can understand that you beat the odds, what are you going to do with that? That type of motivation and inspiration should be just spewing out of you, man. You should be empowered by knowing that you beat the odds, and that should give you enough joy and power to change the world you're in right now.
And it's not the information we're going to share with you is not just stuff that research gathered and said, okay, let's see what's happening out there. Let's see what theoretically might work. Let's see if this is even feasible. We're telling you it can be done. It's not a theory. It's an actual actionable plan. And we know it because we did it and we have helped thousands before you also beat the odds. So if you're serious and you're sitting there saying, you know what, I don't know what to do. I'm sitting here and you're right, that the odds are beating me. I need to do something different. Then stay tuned because we're going to share as soon as we come back why it's so important. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about the odds are against you.
And how to beat the odds.
How to beat the odds. You know, we're not talking a game of craps, right? We're not talking about at the gambling table. We're not talking about any of that, right? We're talking about serious life situations where it's going to take some serious effort in order to beat the odds.
Right. For you to first get over, and as you get over, you are creating a path for your children to get over and to beat the odds stacked against them. That's why we're so passionate about this. We know what it takes. We went through the exact things that you're going through in trying to create a legacy for our children. We faced those odds and we continue to face those odds.
We continue to hear doors slam in our face.
Oh, yeah.
We continue to hear the people talking bad about us. We continue to hear what we hear and see what we see, but that does not define who we are.
That's right. It does not. We don't let people define our family and decide for us what our future is going to be. We recognize that those odds are there. We recognize the challenges in front of us, and we create plans and we create processes to say, you know what? We are going to continue to do what we know we have been called to do. We know what our passion is to do. We're going to continue to do it in spite of the odds, and that's okay.
So we know why it's important is because the first thing I had to do was realize and accept the fact that odds were stacked against me because I stacked the deck, right? I stacked the deck against me and my family. So once I began to really understand that, if I stack the deck, how can I unstack it?
Right.
How can I start to build something new with what I stacked?
And if I'm the one that stacked the deck, then I am the one most qualified to unstack the deck, right? So there's nobody else that can do it for you. There's a lot of people that can help you do it, but nobody can do it for you. If you don't start looking at those things, and it's important to realize that, because if you don't realize that you have a part in it, you're not going to realize that you have the power to change it.
So why is this important? It's important because people are counting on you to create a new deck. They're counting on you to create a new path for them, which we're talking about your family, so that odds are no longer against them. Listen, your children are innocent that the stack is set against them. Your children didn't sign up for this type of warfare, this type of battle, where they're going to have to fight their way through stigmas, through labels, through people not wanting them around them because of the label or the stack you built around them, right?
So the two whys that we're talking about are, why is it important for you to recognize that the odds are stacked against you? Is because if you don't recognize that and realize that, you're going to be taken out. As soon as you face the first obstacle, you're going to give up, you're going to go home, you're going to think it's all about you, you're the only one.
You're still stuck.
Still stuck. Number two, you have to recognize the odds are stacked against you, so you can also recognize that you have the power to beat the odds. And you have to beat the odds. You have to, one more time,
Beat the odds. Listen, man, if you're still gambling at the table, odds are against you, you're gonna make it. If you're still on the phone and demanding change and money and all that type of stuff, odds are against you, you're gonna make it. If you're still out there playing, now it ain't no wrong playing basketball, but if that's how you're doing your time, your whole bit, you're on the basketball court, you're the handball court, and you're not doing anything to change your thinking or the way you see the world, odds are against you. But now, how do you beat the odds? It takes place right there. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But why is it so important? Because you hold the cards. You hold the cards in your hand.
Wake up, look up, and say, oh my goodness, what are the odds against me? What am I going to be facing? Not just in there, right? So you might be facing odds against you and getting the programs you want. That's just a small taste of what you're going to face as you transition out into society. Recognizing that and being prepared emotionally, mentally, physically, and yes, even spiritually, to be able to combat all the odds that are going to be against you. You're going to show up places they're not going to want you there. You're going to go somewhere and you're going to get all kinds of rejection. And when you're prepared for that, you still hold the power to write your own story and overcome those odds.
Let me share something with you guys. When we talk about odds are against you, you realize when you get home from prison, if you serve more than 5 years in the penitentiary and you get out and you decide you want to apply for, listen, dads, you want to get life insurance. Right? For you and your family when you get out. Odds are against you. This is what they say, that you're going to make it. So that you can get life insurance at probably $600 or $700 or maybe more money a month.
A month.
Average Joe does not pay $600, $700, $800 a month for life insurance.
We can't afford to pay that. It's like if we could afford that, we wouldn't need life insurance.
Because they say that a man has to be out of prison at least 5 years before he's now looked upon as normal Joe.
Right.
Right.
And once you're out of prison for 8 years, now you are less likely to commit a crime than somebody who's never been to prison.
Right.
So like the odds are against you. You got to work hard to establish a new path. And we're going to tell you how to do that on our next segment. But we're really hitting you hard because you need to understand the odds are against you. Accept the fact that, you know what? The odds are there. They're against me. But you have to accept the other fact. It's not opinion, the fact you are capable of overcoming them.
And beating the odds. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina, and today we are talking about the odds are against you.
But we're also sharing you, man, but you can beat the odds.
That's right.
And
Absolutely.
this is a serious subject, guys. Hey, come on, dads. You know, the odds are stacked against you. You own it. You stacked it. You stacked the deck. You tried to fix the deck, but it came back to bite you. But the worst thing about this is
That's true.
we stack the deck against our own kids. We stack the deck against our family, our loved ones, people we care about. We made it so that the odds were against them.
But that means that we also have the power, the authority, and the capability of unstacking that deck and creating a brand new legacy.
That's right.
And so we're going to talk to you about how to actually do it. Now, I just want to preface this with saying, you know what? Sometimes when we share things, we get the feedback of, man, that sounds too simple. You know what it is? It's simple formulas. It's simple things that you change every day that create a tremendous impact and transformation in your life. But just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. So as we step through and we give you these steps, don't be like, oh man, they don't know what they're talking about, because that sounds too easy. It's not easy. And yes, we do know what we're talking about because we have done it and we have helped thousands of other people do it. So if you're serious about it, listen up, because we have something that's going to transform your life and your children's lives.
So the first thing we want you to do is to make a list of the things that you already have victory over, things that you overcame. Make a list. And a lot of times you have gone through life, especially where you're at now, and you've had major and minor victories, but you didn't celebrate it. You didn't write it down. You didn't put a date behind it. You know, remember, how about guys, how many of you were smoking before you came to prison? Come on. And then all of a sudden, you don't smoke anymore. Yes, they took them away. Yes, they made it impossible for you to buy it.
Forced on you.
But you lived to what? Tell about it. You
Right.
lived to tell about it. You didn't die. Man, that's victory. You no longer have a desire for nicotine. You've been set free from that type of stronghold in your life. That's a victory, man. Odds were against you that you would ever be a quitter because of smoking, right? That you would ever quit. Odds were against you, man, because when you was on the street, you were smoking 2-3 packs a day. I met a guy the other day, man. Crazy. He smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day.
Oh my word.
3 packs and don't have a car. Odds are against him.
There's a car payment, right? And then some. That's a good car payment.
Right.
So when we talk about, first thing that you have to do is like make that list. The reason you're making the list first of the victories is so that you are reminding yourself you are capable of overcoming. You're capable of making change and doing something different to beat the odds. So the second list now is a list of odds against you that you still have to overcome. And so those odds might be, you know what? I don't have an education, or I don't have my GED. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a job. I know that I'm going to have a lot of societal prejudice. An odd against me is that the mother of my children won't talk to me, so she's blocking me from having access to my kids. You know, so you make that whole list. So that's number 2. First, you're making the list of victories. Next, you're making the list of challenges. And third
is really important, guys, is to connect with people who are going to help you achieve your dreams and desires. Connect with people who have already broken and beat a lot of odds. Right, connect with people who can show you the path. This is what I had to do to beat the odds.
Like the TYRO program, right?
Sign up for the TYRO. Yeah. Surround yourself with people who are beating the odds every day. Listen, here at the Rich Project in our TYRO world, we surround ourselves with people who are beating the odds every day. Maybe they've never been in prison, but you know what? People have been divorced, people lost their jobs, people have been through something. Everybody has a story, right? And when you can understand that you beat the odds, that's a story.
That's right.
That's a story, man, because odds were against us. We've been married 32 years this past June. Now check this out. Odds were against us that we would stay married while I was doing 15 years in prison.
That's right. And so we know what it's talking about, what we mean when we're saying you can beat the odds. We know what that means. Okay, so when we say connect to people, we don't mean just connect to TYRO. TYRO is going to really help you. It's going to help you be a much better dad. It's going to help position you to get really good job and to do well outside. But TYRO is not the only thing and the only people you need to be connected to. You need to look around you. There are so many people that are willing and able to help. Look past the people that are haters. Look past the people that are trying to hold you down and find that person or those people that are going to really help you overcome those challenges. Connect to them.
One of the things that, in order to beat the odds, you can't stay where you're tolerated, okay? But you got to go where you're celebrated. People who are beating the odds are people who celebrate every day. They celebrate life. Because they realize that, man, I'm living to tell about something. And they harness that experience and they multiply it. Right? They become multipliers. So you need to surround yourself with people who are not only multipliers, but are celebrating everyday victories. You know, just getting up in the morning in penitentiary is a big deal, right, guys?
And learning to celebrate yourself. So when you begin to celebrate yourself and your own victories, then you also begin to celebrate other people and their victories. And before you know it, you have beat the odds. So there's 4 primary things that you're going to do in order to overcome the odds in front of you. Number 1, you're going to make a list of the things you've already overcome. Number 2, you're going to make a list of the things you need to overcome. Number 3,
you got to connect with people that are celebrating and can help you and understand what it's going to take to overcome the odds. And number 4 is celebrate yourself.
Right.
Celebrate yourself. Quit, a lot of times we block our own 3 points. Or maybe, you know what, I'm not going to share that with anybody. Stop that, man. Celebrate yourself, man. You're beating the odds every day, man. If you don't celebrate you, who else is going to celebrate you? Right?
And in celebrating you, don't forget you also have to celebrate other people.
The kids, you got to celebrate your family.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they're beating the odds every day. They're beating the odds every day. They're living, they're thriving, and they're doing something. Celebrate them.
Right. So when we come back, we're going to wrap it all up. And so stay tuned because we'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Cathy Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about beating the odds.
Ooh-wee.
Right?
That's right.
That's what we're really talking about,
We're
beating
talking
the
about
odds.
facing them and then beating them. Because if you don't know what your challenges are, if you don't know what the risk is in front of you, you can't put together a good plan to overcome that. And so you have to recognize those odds, and then you have to put together a plan to beat those odds.
And what Kathy's mentioned is you got to execute. I love the word execute,
Yeah.
man, because you're killing something that's holding you back. Oh man, you're destroying something that's holding you back to reach your highest.
Complacency, laziness, fear, right? All of those things have got to go. And in order for you to execute your plan, that means to actually knock your plan down and actually do your plan, you got to get rid of all those negative things, including haters. People that try to hold you down because they don't want to be challenged to do something different. So they want you to stay there because then they feel better in their own complacency. You know,
we were talking about the how in the last segment, right? But what I'm going to share with you is when you surround yourself with people, like I surround myself with people like Cathy. You know, I have a great cheerleader right here. And she's constantly celebrating
And a lot of other people, not just me.
Not just Cathy, but a lot of other people. You know, when I got out, odds were against me that I was going to make it. I got the label nobody wants, so stop it. You're without excuse. If you can't become successful, if you can breathe and you got life and you got energy and you're home and you're still broke, stop. Stop. People are counting on you to beat the odds. There's things out there that are set up so that you can beat the odds. Right. But you got to get up and you got to go find it. You got to hustle and you got to get it done. You can beat the odds. Not that old way of life now where you're hustling and you're stealing, you're robbing, and you're dope dealing and all that. We're not talking about that, man. We're talking about being a man of honor, a man of good character, a TYRO, where a TYRO will surround himself with people who are beating the odds every day, and those people are empowering him to beat the odds every day, and then he begins to look for people who need what he now has and empower them so they too can beat the odds every day.
Every day.
Every
You're
day.
going to have obstacles every day. You need to find the courage to overcome the obstacles in front of you because you are creating a legacy for your children to follow behind. And it is your honor, right? Your responsibility and your privilege to create a new life for your children, to connect to them, to help them grow into healthy, strong adults.
So listen, dads, this is what we're talking about. Odds are against you, but that's not the end of the story. Dads, it's not the end of the story.
So we hope that today we were able to give you something that helps you in your journey towards becoming a better dad and your journey towards transitioning safely home back into your children's lives.
So I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And always remember that we are rooting for you.